Hello, everyone. I just got a new job, and it's that time when we're about to enter a new salary and be able to play with some new income. So I'm going to share with you my new income, as well as how I have budgeted that in a little step-by-step process. All right, so what I have pulled up here right now is my monthly budget. Now, my original plan was just to do, 24 equal contributions to be able to max out my HSA, my 401k, and my Roth IRA. However, something funky happened because I'm taking a week off essentially in between the two jobs. So that's going to be the last week of December. And then in January, I actually negotiated a signing bonus, but a lot of that signing bonus is actually going to be eaten up by kind of the week that I'm not going to be getting paid in December, or at least a good portion of it is. It's a $5,000 signing bonus. The budget for January is going to look a lot different because of those kind of like unequal like balances for both my last paycheck at my current job and then the first paycheck at my new job, which is primarily just going to be the signing bonus because I start on the 3rd and their first paycheck is the 7th. So I'll essentially just be getting the signing bonus and then like 3 days worth of pay. Now, another thing that complicates this is I'm not sure exactly how the bonus is going to be paid out to me. If they put it on like a regular paycheck that comes along with the pay that I'm getting for the first, like 3 or 4 days that I'm there, that paycheck on the 7th, if it's just kind of like lump sum thrown in there, like into like my regular taxes and everything, then I might be able to contribute some of that to my HSA. If not, then unfortunately I'm just kind of going to be losing money because the bonus is like taxed at a very like higher rate. I think it's about like close to like 40%. So all of that just to say, I have 2 budgets for January that I'm going to go over. One that assumes that I will be able to contribute to an HSA and one without. So that just depends again on how that's kind of getting paid out to me, but we'll go over both. All right, now that we've got the strategy down, let's actually start taking a look at the budget. So the first budget that I want to draw your attention to is this new job pre-401k February and March tab. This is going to be specifically, so after the funkiness in January where I don't know like about the bonus, in general what my pay is going to look like while I'm contributing to my HSA, not the 401k. If you look in cells C4 and C5, those are how much I'll be getting per check. And the way that I figured that out is I actually went to this site, talent.com. They have a tax calculator that is really handy. You can put whatever state that you live in and it'll show you exactly how much federal and state taxes are going to be taken out per paycheck. And so basically what I did to get my gross income, this is after I contribute to the HSA, is I just created a little spreadsheet here, this investment breakdown spreadsheet, where I listed the 2023 annual limit for all of the retirement accounts that I want to contribute to. In 2023, the HSA contribution limit is $3,850. And so what I did, since I want to front load that within the first 3 months, because that's how long it'll take to contribute to my 401k, I did $3,850 divided by 6. So 6 equal paychecks in those 3 months. Let's just do the math real quick. 3,850 divided by 6. So yeah, it's about $641. The paycheck that I'm getting for my new company that's in my contract is $4,167 per pay period. So what I did is I took $4,167, did minus 642 to round up to get $3,525. So if I am contributing to my HSA and maxing that out within 3 months, that $642 is going to be taken out of every single paycheck, which is $4,167 before tax. So that leaves me with $3,525. So I went to this calculator, put in $3,525 biweekly for the state of Maryland, calculated that, and essentially it gives you the complete breakdown here. You can see that the net pay is estimated to be $2,595. So let's go back to my little budget, my little spreadsheet. I'll have a total of $5,190 to work with post-tax every month. Let's go into the actual expenses. These are my current expenses and estimated expenses early next year. So one thing that I actually need to change off the bat is this 700 number for rent. I now pay $720 for rent. Essentially, I pay $700 to live with my friends in the house that they own. I live on their bottom floor, and it's very nice because it's like more than double the space of my apartment when I was in Baltimore. I have a cat now, so I kind of need that space. And living with friends is honestly really great. My car insurance is up to date. My phone bill, that's what I pay my mom because I'm still on my parents' plan. But I pay for my portion of that. Gas, $150, I find to be a good estimate. My utilities are around $100 a month. My groceries, I found $350 to be a good average there. Some months I do spill over, but with groceries, I feel good in overspending on groceries because that's, you know, like core things that I need. And if I want to splurge a little bit, groceries is where I allow myself to do that because I'll pay for things like smoothies and stuff like that. So it's like more related to my health. So I feel okay spending there. I go to therapy, but again, since I have an HSA, I have a very high deductible plan. So I'm paying out of pocket. So that's $101.17 every month. Earth Treks is a climbing gym. So that's my gym membership. Again, health related. I don't have a problem spending for that or therapy. I just got a cat. I'll insert a picture here. And then I just signed up for Chewy, which is a recurring subscription that I'm sure everyone already knows about. So I won't explain that, but I get my pet food and all his other stuff through that. And then I have my I don't know why I can't think of the name. I have my 2 subscription services, Spotify, and I pay for Paramount Plus as well to watch Survivor, The Amazing Race, and Big Brother. And then discretionary, this is just fun money for the month. It's restaurant money, hang out with friends money, activities money. And that's $800. And I know that's like pretty high. But if you look at the percent of my budget, it's actually only 15% of my budget. Humble brag, but yeah, it's great. Now we're going to move on to the savings portion of my budget. I'm creating a car and housing fund. This is the first time that I'm doing this. This is going to be a net new sinking fund for me. I plan to just slowly build this over the next 5 to 6 years. I don't have any need to buy a house right now. Likely I'll need a car first, but I'm keeping it open in terms of like whether it's going to be for a house down payment or a car down payment. Of course, I'll reach the car down payment first. But if I want to keep contributing to it, then of course I can, and it can become a housing fund. I just wanted to start this again because, well, one, I'm already going to be maxing out all of my retirement accounts. So this is kind of the next big savings bucket to really take a stab at. And perhaps the more important kind of philosophical reason is just because over the past, 4 years that I've been budgeting and been taking, my financial health as honestly like one of my number one concerns in life, I have fallen victim to feeling bad about where I spend money. That is silly, to be frank. There needs to be a balance between saving for, 50 to 60-year-old Trey and saving for Trey right now, or the Trey in the next 5 years. Honestly, there needs to be a balance of fun money right now, which I think I'm doing a good job of, with long-term priorities, mainly being retirement and financial independence, and then also a balance of medium-term goals, like, and medium-term necessities, really, not just goals. Like, I'm going to need to have a car again, like this one, my 2014 Ford Focus is going to break down at some point within the next 5 to 10 years. So, knock on, I don't know what material this is, but knock on wood, if this was wood, $500 a month, I think is gonna be great, because doing that for a year, I should have like $5,000 by the time that the year is over. So actually, I guess $6,000, right? I'm starting a travel fund for the first time. This is actually not just like for any type of traveling. Me and my roommates and some of my other friends want to go on a European trip this summer. So I want to start kind of aggressively saving for that. And luckily, I am able to do that in conjunction with these long-term savings. And so now we'll go back down into my investments. I'm not including the HSA or the 401k here again, because those are pre-tax. This is just post-tax money stuff. So with my Roth IRA, I'm going to aggressively contribute to that as well in these first 3 months, because maxing out the HSA is a lot less money than maxing out the 401k. Obviously the HSA is like $4,000 basically, and then the 401k is like $22,000. So it's really only like $600 pre-tax that I'm getting out, whereas the 401k is going to be over $1,000 pre-tax that I'm taking out. So I'm still going to have a surplus of money even with maxing out my HSA in these first 3 months. So with that surplus of money, I'm sending $1,000 towards my Roth IRA, so that can be kind of half completed by the time I start contributing to my 401k, so that I'm not having to sacrifice too much. So for example, if I'm sacrificing like $1,250 pre-tax for the 401k, but then I also need to sacrifice $500 post-tax for the Roth IRA, I mean, that's going to be a lot. But if I front load the $1,000 in the first 3 months where I'm paying less pre-tax, then I'll only need to pay up to $3,000 or $3,500. And then finally, our brokerage account. So I recently opened a brokerage account. This is, post-tax money. It's the least of my concerns when it comes to investing because you get the least bang for your buck with it. But I wanted to start a monthly contribution for it and just kind of keep it small at $200 a month so that I at least have something, going on there. All right, now we have moved over to the new job post 401k tab. This should really say post HSA, so like post maxing out the HSA, but now moving on to contributing to the 401k. The budget is going to look pretty similar, except we have less income now allotted, and that's because there's just more money that I'm taking out. Again, the HSA is only like $4,000 to max out, whereas the 401k is like $22,000 to max out. What I did to get these numbers is pretty much the same thing I did with the HSA. I'm going to go back into my investment breakdown sheet. Also, sorry for this weird lighting. We're going to look at the 2023 annual limit for the 401k. That is $22,500. Essentially, what I did was I divided $22,500 by 18 paychecks. That's taking out those first 6 for January through March. And that actually comes down to, as you can see here, $1,250 per check. What we did is the same thing. We took $4,167. Let's do that here, minus 1,250. And that leaves us with $2,917 that is taxable because, again, we are no longer contributing to the HSA, so the 401k is the only pre-tax thing that will come out. So we're going to go back to this talent.com tax calculator, put in the exact dollar amount that I'll be getting bi-weekly, hit calculate, and you can see that there's significantly less taxes on this money, which makes sense given it's less income. The total net pay is going to be a little above $2,000. Both of those checks should be the same, $2,196. And this is how the budget has changed. So obviously all of my fixed expenses are staying the same. The only thing that's changing here are the savings and the investment amounts. Let's actually start with investments because it's a bit shorter. So with investments, my Roth IRA obviously dramatically reduced. So I was contributing $1,000 in those first 3 months. Now there's only, I think, $3,500 left. Let me check this investments tab again. Yeah, so there's only $3,500 left. So let's do 3,500 divided by 18. Yeah, so you can see that it's only $194 a paycheck that go to the Roth IRA. Let's actually double that because this is a monthly budget. So the budget is not per paycheck, it's per month. So you can see that I would have to contribute around $388. So actually, that's something that I messed up. So I'm glad that I caught this. You know what I did? I was doing the regular amount that it is now. I was doing the $6,000, not $6,500. So I am glad that I'm doing this and catching my mistakes in front of y'all. But yeah, so I'll essentially need, let's round up, $389 a month to be able to do that. So after the Roth IRA, the brokerage is going to stay the same at $200. That's just an automatic payment that's taken out every single month. And then we'll move into the sinkings. For the travel, we went from $1,000 to $850. Again, that's just something that needed to happen given there's a lot more money coming out, even if it is pre-tax. And then the car/house fund has actually remained the same. So let's take a look at the messy stuff, which is going to be January. And again, the reason that it's messy is because I'm just not exactly sure how that signing bonus is going to work. Let's first look at the scenario, the best case scenario, where the HSA is actually going to be able to be taken out of that paycheck. My last paycheck for the company that I'm currently at is only going to be about $1,400. I say only just because it's usually, like closer to like $2,200. I am taking a week off in between jobs, so that last paycheck is actually going to only incorporate 1 week's worth of pay. It's like a week and a day. The signing bonus that I got is $5,000. I was able to negotiate that, which was awesome. I'll probably do a video on that at some point as well. From that $5,000, assuming that I will be able to take out $1,284 for my HSA. $1,284. And the reason I got $1,284 is I just divided that $3,850 by 3. So the 3 months, January, February, March, where I plan to max it out, that equals $1,284. So if we take that out of my signing bonus, that leaves me with $3,716. That is taxable income. This is where it gets tricky because I've seen kind of information that's contradictory about the way bonuses are taxed. I think they tend to be closer to like 40%. I think the number is like 36% or something like that, but I always like to overestimate when it comes to expenses and taxes so that you're at least 100% sure that the numbers that you have are going to work. I just multiplied it by 40% rather. And that leaves me with this $1,486.40 number. So this is not the income number. This is how much is going to be taken out by taxes. So if we just do the 3716 number and subtract the taxes, which will be $1,486.40, that leaves us with $2,229.60. The last question that I'll address is, okay, why are you incorporating a December paycheck and only your first paycheck of January as January? That's because my company, the new company, has a different pay schedule than my current company, so I have to kind of adjust for that. So the new company, their pay cycles are on the 7th and the 22nd for whatever reason. It's kind of random and arbitrary to me. But because of that discrepancy and making it weird with aligning with monthly expenses, I'm essentially going to start treating the 22nd of the previous month as the beginning of the next month. So for example, the paycheck that I get on January 22nd, so the second paycheck that I get from this company, that's going to count as February income. To my budget's purposes, for my financial health purposes, February starts January 22nd to me as soon as I get that paycheck. It just makes it a lot less messy when I'm balancing everything. And it actually works out because I don't have any recurring expenses that happen after the 22nd. My last real fixed expenses of the month comes from my Paramount Plus subscription. And that's only $10, and that comes out on the 21st or the 22nd of the month, depending if it's like a weekend or a weekday. So it actually works out pretty beautifully. So how does that change my savings and investments? Because again, the discretionary stuff and the fixed expenses are not changing. Unfortunately, I will not be saving in January for any of my fun funds, if that's the case. So I will not be saving for travel, and I will not be saving for my car or house fund. If I'm able to contribute to my HSA here, I will not actually be starting these funds yet. That's something that'll happen in February. However, I will still be contributing to my Roth IRA, get as much of that out of the way before I start doing the really dramatic pre-tax contributions, and I'll still be contributing to my brokerage account. So that's that. You might now be wondering, okay, so what if you cannot contribute to the HSA yet for whatever reason? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have a tab for that too. And this is the last budget that I'll be going over. In the case that that does not happen, then I will just have $5,000 that is taxed at 40%. It's a very easy calculation. That'll just be 2 of that $5,000 that's gone. So I should have like a flat $3,000 or probably a little bit above if also I'm getting paid for those 3 days that I'm working in that pay period. But I'll have about $3,000 that I can work with. That brings up my income for the month to $4,400. The only thing that really changes here is having access to starting those savings earlier. So instead of not being able to contribute to those, I will contribute to those instead with the travel and the house/car fund. There's no other like account for me to be able to put that pre-tax money into. So I might as well just start with those savings goals that I have anyway. The thing is, if this happens where I cannot contribute to my HSA, then February and March's budget in this tab are going to change, because in that case, it's not going to be 6 easy payments for the HSA. It's actually going to be 4 payments. And so in that case, if we go back over to my investment breakdown tab, $3,850 divided by 4 is $962.50. So I might have to up that, in which case we'll just do a flip-flop again. So I likely won't be saving as much for the car, house, and travel funds at first, that's fine. Also, the $962.50, that's actually going to be a lot closer to the $1,250 for the 401k that I'll be doing after that. So in all honesty, like, it's still going to be a pretty equitable experience in terms of like the cash flow changing. It's not going to change that much. So honestly, I'm feeling really good about this. Like, I feel very stable. I'm glad that I did the work. I know exactly what to expect. There's definitely going to be some slight deviation because there just always is. But for the most part, like, I got my shit down and I'm fucking ready to be making 100K. I'm very excited. So that's everything. This all goes according to plan. I will 100% max out all of my tax advantage accounts this year. That's $22,500 plus $6,500, which is $29,000. Plus the HSA, which is almost another $4,000. So that brings us really close to $33,000. If I continue with the $200 payment to my taxable brokerage account, puts me at another $2,400. So if we're at like $34,900, so like $34,900, I can contribute another $100 along the way just to make it $35,000. But that's truly my goal this year. So that's my financial goal for 2023, is to contribute $35,000 to the stock market in some way, shape, or form. I'm so excited. I've never been able to do that before. And this year is really going to be the year where my savings just like shoots through the roof. Net worth right now, I just made a net worth video. I think I was actually wearing this exact sweatshirt. But my net worth just hit like 40 grand. Actually right now, I think I'm at like 42 or 43 at the time of filming this video, but it's crazy to think that I'm going to be able to essentially save my current net worth just in 1 year. Like, and that's just investments. That's like not even including the savings that I'm going to do for, like short-term, medium-term, stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm essentially going to double my net worth this year, if I remain on track, which I don't see why I wouldn't, because all of this stuff is going to be essentially automated. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at having a net worth of at least like $75,000 this year. As long as the stock market doesn't crash. If it continues to go down, like that's okay. Like I understand we're in a bear market right now, but as long as there's not like a major crash, I'll be okay. And even if there is, I'll still be okay. I'm not retiring anytime soon. So, I have decades to fuck up, essentially. I have decades for this stuff to fluctuate. That puts me on track to reach Coast Fi when I want to. So I want to reach Coast Fire by the time I'm 31. I'm 26 right now, and if I'm able to continue to do this, contribute $35,000 per year to the stock market, that basically puts me at Coast Fi in 4 years, which would put me at Coast Fi at 30. To think that I will have hit the first rung of financial independence by the time I'm 30. Like, what an achievement that would be. I've been rambling a lot, so I am going to go, but thank you so much for watching this video and supporting me. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that those tools are really helpful for you guys when you're trying to budget a new income. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.